This is the Electrolux washer, and here's the model number. Their washer. So here we go. The first thing you want to do is go to the back section, top cover, and remove these screws here. So we got one here on the left and another one on the right. So we'll start by removing those. Once those screws have been removed, you kind of like pull the cover towards the back and then lift it, and then you'll be able to remove it. Set it aside. Okay, now let's begin with the first thing that comes up, which is the water valves. Now I just replaced these not long ago, so these are completely new. One of the issues that you're gonna have with these when they're old and clogged or stuck or whatever is that even if the machine is off, you're gonna have water pouring onto the drum. They're too dirty, damaged with kind of a water buildup, and so that's when you actually need to replace them. Do that by removing these screws on the sides. So this one holds the display, this one holds the metal bracket that you see right here. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those and go to the next step. But before we actually do that, make sure you pull out the detergent compartment, because once you do that, once you remove it, you're gonna notice that you have two other screws. One goes here, and there's another one. Let's see, let's take a pic in there. Okay, there's one over there, there's another one over here. So you have one on each side, and that too holds the display cover. Now once you pull the tray out, you cannot actually take it off completely. So if you look on the left side, you got this little groove on this side, on the left side, and you got a tiny, let me focus there, tiny button that actually says push. Well, you have to actually press it and then pull it out, and that will release it. Then you can go ahead and take it off. Now I've taken off that screw, I've taken off this one. Now we need to remove these two. Now let's go to the next step. Now on each side, on the top of the display cover, what you want to do, kind of like pull towards the outside, and then kind of like pull towards the front. This will release the display. Now it's come off this side, and there it is. Now when you're taking it off, you got to remove the harness. Now this particular harness, you have to like kind of like not pull, but push towards the outside, so it'll come off. So that's completely off. Now that we've done that, this is what holds the front cover, which is basically the entire frame where the door is at. So we remove that screw, and we remove this screw. Now once we remove the screw, this is actually gonna fall towards the front, but we have an issue. We still have the boot that will be hold on to the drum itself, and it'll be hold on to the door. So it's got a spring that we need to remove, and that spring is right there. Now it's very easy to remove, because all you need is a flat screwdriver and kind of like do this. You stick it right under there and kind of like pull. Okay, that's one option. Or you can either get yourself one of these, which is a special tool to actually, it can still be done using a couple screwdrivers. You only need one to remove it, but you're gonna need about 3 to put it back on. Now, before I actually remove the screw on top right here and at the other end and the boot, okay, we got a couple screws right under that need to be removed before this cover actually comes off completely. And in order to do that, you're gonna have to tilt the washer towards the back and lay it against the wall. Well, now as you can see, it's tilted, and now we can actually see the screws that you have on the bottom. Okay, right now it's got two. The two on the center were removed and they were never put back. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start removing these two on top, removing the boot, removing the screws on the bottom, and eventually removing this entire cover. One down. Now, like I said, you only need one screwdriver to remove this boot. So once you remove this, toss it aside. You can go ahead and remove it. So as long as it's not attached to the front cover, you're good. There you go. You see how it falls like towards the back, so you're good now. Now let's go ahead and remove the ones from the bottom. Oops. Okay, once we remove it, we're gonna have another issue that I'm about to let you know, and that's gonna be the back cover, the door switch to the main door, which is right here. Okay, now now as you can see, it's got a harness right here connected, so this is pretty easy to disconnect. And this goes towards all the controls on your door. So basically you just detach it from here. Just press here and it should come off. It's that easy. Now you can go ahead and just remove the door. Let's put it over here. We're gonna go ahead and tilt it all over again. It makes it a lot easier for me to show every part on the back. Now once you tilt it again, right in front of it, you're gonna notice that you have your water pump. Okay, and attached to the water pump, this actually goes towards the drain system. Okay, so the water comes from the drum down here, and you got this attachment. Once you remove that spring, you're gonna notice that you have some sort of filter in here, and that actually gets clogged from time to time. It takes quite a while before it actually gets clogged, but if you notice that the water ain't draining, this is gonna be your problem. And so anything that has to do with drainage, you either have a bad pump and or you're gonna have a clogged filter, which is right here, and most of the time it's only this.